A long time ago, when I was in my prime, I was sent on 12 quests in order to prove myself worthy again after a terrible tragedy.
Right.
I have long fought to see all people in this nation prosper, as is the American dream. But I believe this American dream should focus on the entire country. We must be the ones to make the change into prosperity of an entire people.
Amen.
I will step forward and take the oncoming blows from those who intend to stop us.
Speak your mind.
The people need a leader, and I, when I have proved myself time and time again, will take on this final quest. However, unlike the days of my youth, I am no longer foolish enough to go off on my own. I recognize the immense strength of this country, and together we can transform this nation into a place of peace, not war. A place that mothers can raise children, and they do not have to fear the unknown.
That's what we want.
I have paid the price of foolishness, and I recognize that I have lived in darkness for so long. Let me shed the light on our country. Let it be a place where streets are safe, where the people can afford to live their lives comfortably, not counting their pennies until their next check. A time of turmoil is the time that we live in, and I, as a leader of this great country, promise that we will no longer have to live like this. The next 4 years will determine the path of the United States, and without a strong hand, we will be left behind others. I promise to lead this country back into an era of true peace. It will not be easy. Like our forefathers realized, change comes with time. But I promise that this will be a time of change. Our environment, currently facing many invasive species and threats that are only increasing each day, is in dire need of help. I promise, as your future president, to bring back the wild deer population in America, grow our livestock reserves, and remove pollution from manure on farms.
Amen.
The people need a leader who can focus on completing many tasks, but also one who does not aggravate other leaders. My fellow candidates refuse to focus on key problems. It is clear that the United States is losing its global position on foreign trade and academic ranking. Artemis, while wise and adept at hunting, loses her anger too easily. She lashes out on those that upset her and forces her ideals on others.
That is true.
Unlike my misanthropic opponent, I would show our power to other nations in order to only persuade them to enter an alliance. I would ensure them that if they agree to our terms, we will protect them with our might. We shall advance this country by making alliances with great nations in Europe and Asia, along with oil-rich nations in the Middle East. We need these to help save our suffering economy. The people need a leader who can raise our economy out from increasing debt. We are steadily getting closer and closer to reaching $20 trillion in national debt. We lack the resources that can turn a profit in our country. My opponent Perseus would attempt to reflect these problems onto others instead of facing the economic issues at hand. He would raise tax prices on us great Americans and have us take on the issues at hand as if we were a mirror, reflecting the issues away from him. I would use the plan stated earlier to increase our market opportunities. Spreading our trade window around the world will help this economy move back into place. I will bear the weight of this burden for this nation so that we may push ourselves back out of the black pit of debt. The people need a leader who is willing to sacrifice everything. I lost my entire family long ago, but I have turned that despair into determination to help others. For all families around this country, I promise to increase safety measures around homes and neighborhoods with large family populations. I promise to have law enforcement become more efficient in dealings with domestic abuse.
That's right.
These are not small problems.
Amen.
They are like Edgar Allan Poe's pendulum, slowly swinging closer and closer, tearing our families apart and causing the loss of life. I have been through the suffering. I will do everything in my power to protect families from the same fate that has fallen onto me. The people need a leader with a plan. These are the steps we must take to help push this nation back onto its feet and off of its knees. I will take on this final quest so that we may be the ones to see the United States of America in its full, glorious, perfect peacefulness. 12 labors, 9 beasts, 1 election. Thank you.
Congratulations, President!